Gotta make sure that I have something on my teeth so they can zoom in there. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's cold, and then you get the sweater stuff on, and it's too hot. Good morning, Maria Chongos. Amanecí con frío. I woke up cold. Hi, Patty Segovia. I woke up so cold, and I had this sweater. Well, it's a blouse with a Sherpa kind of sweater thing, and it was too hot. It's still cold, but if I have that thing on, it's too hot. Hi, Tina. It's chilly. It is chilly, but I refuse to turn on my heater in here. I have central heat, but I can't. My sinuses will not tolerate that. So I would rather put on something, but that Sherpa shirt got too hot. So I decided that I wanted to ask you all something, since these haters have been buzzing and buzzing and buzzing all week. You know, like them damn flies that you can never catch. And they were laughing at me. Joanne came with RJ and Vilda a few weeks ago, and they were laughing because they're like, "How many fly swatters do you have, Angie?" And I'm like, a few, but out of all the damn fly swatters I have, only one of them works." And it's not that you're not aiming to hit the fly. Let me show you the difference. Look at this one. And then look at this one. And the one that works, I don't have it right here. I don't know where the kids did with it, but why doesn't this fly swatter work in Texas? Porque las hijas de su madre saben cómo meterse por estas rendijitas when the fly swatter is coming down, they get out through those little slots and they fly away still. I have one that has really tiny little squares, and that one works. Good morning. Yeah, when you first turn on the central heat, it smells because all the elements have to be heating up and everything. But the reason that I don't like to turn it on here is it dries up the atmosphere inside the house. So it creates a bigger problem for my sinuses that I have on a daily. I suffer from sinus issues. Good morning, Alvirators. I suffer from sinus issues, and if I turn on a heater inside my house, um, it will get worse because then it's a dry sinus issue. But yeah, them haters have been buzzing all week like the flies that they are. I have bad allergies. I suffer from them, and I drink Lortidine every day. Every day I have to drink Lortidine once a day, and Sudafed for drying out the sinuses. So that's a daily non-prescribed medicine that I take. That's good, Maria Chongos. I have colchas. I would rather be under them. That's my favorite hobby. Let me share this. Of course, if you're gonna be with cold, if you don't have central air and you have the old time gas heaters, please be careful because you do have to maintain like a pot of water on top of them, or something, because the they might be leaking carbon monoxide into your house and stuff, or the children might get next to them and actually burn themselves. So try to be real careful if you do have a gas heater inside the house. If you can avoid it, avoid it. Get electric blankets, get electric heaters. They sell them all over the place, including the pulgas. Um, so just do that. But in South Texas, it's only 2 or 3 days that it'll be like fresh. It's not gonna really get freaking freezing cold until February. And then even in February, it'll probably just be 5 days at the most. But yeah, we worry about that all the time. Like I was saying about those haters, they're all mad because we've been ignoring them. And I did want to talk to everybody that watches me about it. They're going to continue to be ignored because it's none of their business. Besides that, you guys, how many of you have worse family members than those haters? Because I know we do. We have family members that have dementia just like the haters. Do y'all want to hear that story? Tell me if you want to hear that story or not. If you want to hear the story about how the family members forget, just the same as the haters forget, I'll let you know. Because it's all satire, right? It's all, if it's something that I'm saying resembles something in your life, it's merely coincidental. But I could go for days on family stories. You know, on our side of the family, there's everything. Do y'all have that problem on your family? Or are y'all family members okay? We have family members we don't talk to. We have family members that are like Juan Graviel. You can see what they are and you just don't say nothing. So they're frustrated closet people. 26 degrees. Oh no, LV Raiders, that is freaking cold. That's freezing. Are the pipelines okay? Did y'all have any busted pipelines? Here, if it hits 32, somebody's pipelines are gonna bust because they're almost all of the time exposed, because we don't get freezing weather, and under 42, I mean under 32, it's freezing. They're not just gonna leak, they're gonna break, bust. So I'm kind of glad that it's just in the 60s. And in the 60s, I'm complaining that it's cold. I shouldn't be, but it's cold. So we have a couple in our family that We have a couple in our family. Check this story out. That got married and had 3 daughters. And lots of years passed. Lots of years passed. And then they had 3 more children. In their late years, they had 3 more children. And this couple spoiled those kids. I mean, the last 3 kids were super spoiled. And there's like more than, I want to say there's like 16 years or 17 years between the sets, the first 3 and the second 3. I don't know how that ended up happening, but we know how the kids came about. We know that. But how 16 years go by and then you decide to have a whole new family, because that's a whole new family when you have 3 kids. And it just seems like all 6 kids have dementia. And they're my cousins. They're worse than the haters. But I tell you, that's how it is. That's how it is. One of them decided that she was... Yes, Maria Chongos, it's a whole new family. It's like they're already adults. But when they got married, they had 3 daughters. And then there was like 15 or 16 years in between. Then they had 2 daughters and a son. I don't know. I don't know, but I mean, there's forgiveness, and then there's forgiveness, and then there's, I know that your blood is going, my blood is going through your veins, and it's okay, because I can't do nothing about that, but I can't stop talking to you. And that's my favorite part, when I can choose not to talk to them and make sure that they don't forget about the dementia that they're selectively having. And that's what this show is about. We have some haters that are wife beaters and selectively forget that. We have haters that don't discipline their children that masturbate on social media, and they selectively forget that. Not only on social media, in all the public stores, everywhere they can masturbate, they do. But they selectively choose not to talk about that. Then we have one that was face-to-face told by the boyfriend that he wanted her daughter. And she selectively forgot that part too. So which one is worse? Having family members that selectively forget that their father was put in jail for human trafficking, that their sister was put in jail for federal fraud, federal Medicaid fraud, that their brother was put in jail for stealing from his own family, that their husband was put in jail for trafficking drugs, that their brother-in-law was put in jail for trafficking drugs. This is all one family. But yet they want to be picking up the phone and calling family members from other states that nobody talks to. Because, you know, when you decide that a -0 is not going to add anything to your life, it stays and remains a -0. And at least a 0 counts for something. But when you become a -0, that's even worse than just a 0. When I decide that I'm going to actually make a video and put it all out there, I have proof of what I'm talking about. I have the mugshots. I might decide to just take them out if you don't selectively remember how to shut up. And that's not a threat. That's just me telling a cousin it's time for her to shut up. Hi, Nancy Rodriguez. You know, for the newspapers to put this person was booked, but they're innocent until proven guilty, but then you take it all out of proportion on social media and you want answers from us. We don't know what's going on. Fuck you. But if you keep it up, I will start putting little pictures up here on my videos of all the mugshots in your family. Because I'm sure that in my family, there's at least 5 mugshots. For stupid shit. I was found innocent, but nobody cares that I lost $150,000 in those 3 years. Or 2.5 years. Nobody cares that I was innocent because their buddies were supposed to be saved and they were sitting on all the paperwork. But when you get somebody that's an easy target and it allows you the area so that you won't have to do your job and continue scratching your balls in your office, then you take that route. And that's exactly what's going on here. And yes, that's my personal opinion. Do I care? No, it's the truth. They selectively decided they didn't want to see CPS paperwork that stated that this case was closed. They selectively decided that. Why? Because it's convenient for them. Some of their family members are probably those baking soda sellers. I don't know that. But I might be close since everybody's related to everybody and knows about everybody's business around here. There's people in places that own game rooms in this town. Is that legal? I don't know. Maybe it is and maybe it's not, because those game rooms are all illegal. And they know it. Hi, Anna. You know, and then there's people that just stay on the same subject. And it's like, you know, don't selectively forget what's convenient for you, because I'm here to remind you about every single thing that is not a lie. Was I put in jail? Yes, I was put in jail. Was it a lie? Was the reason that I was placed in jail a lie? At the end of the day, they said that nothing happened. Aquí no pasó nada. You know? But I still was put in jail. They still went to the top of the rooftop with that feather pillow, threw all the feathers out from the rooftop, made sure they spread everywhere because the day was windy, and then they want me to run to the bottom of that building and try to pick up all those feathers that they already spread in a one-cow town. If you don't want to pay your rent in this one-cow town, don't spread lies. Pay your rent and nobody will be hassling you. Pay your rent and nobody will be putting eviction notices on your door. I was called a pinche puta ramoneña by a person that didn't want to pay her rent, and I still had to put an eviction notice on one of the trailers that she lived in. Do I see that person in town, around town, and smile at her? Yes. Because at that time, my job was to put that eviction notice on her door. pay your rent, and you won't get those type of days. And then you won't have to be spreading rumors that you don't know anything about. My brother was in Canada with his whole family vacationing when I had to do that. And me and my other sister, not Ofelia, my other sister, went. And I was told to my face that I was a pinche puta ramoneña. Well, guess what? I still put the eviction notice on that trailer's door. I didn't hit nobody. I just laughed because I had never been called a pinche puta ramoneña before. But yes, my parents were from Ramones, Nuevo León, and yes, I'm proud of that. So if you want to say that I'm a pinche puta ramoneña because I was having an affair with somebody that lived with me 6 years after that, it didn't matter to me. I was single when it happened. I don't have selective memory loss. I never had an affair with anybody while I was married. I don't have selective memory loss. I can do whatever the hell I want because I'm single. I don't have anybody to answer to. I stayed single until my daughter was in college and out of the first 2 years of college because I didn't want nobody to be saying my boyfriend asked to sleep with my daughter like you've been told and you want to deny it. I stayed single all the way up until my daughter was just fine and could stand on her 2 feet. Guess how royal my ass is when I tell you that. It doesn't matter how many affairs I've had. I've been single all these years. I can have as many affairs as I want. As long as I'm not hurting anybody, it's wash and wear. Does that kick your little panties off because you're a wannabe something? You don't know if you're a girl or a boy? I know what I am. And all of this is not for you. Don't forget to pay your loyal support. OM is coming back sometime. I don't know when. But sometime she will be coming back and she will have some floral public apologies. I don't do the public apologies like she does, but I can come up with some mugshots of some family members of mine. Can I get on social media and say that? Yes, I can, because it's true. I never said that I wasn't the first sinner. I said the haters don't want that spot. Maria Chongos. They wanna wear the thongs, Maria Chongos, though. They wanna wear the thongs. Que chinguen a la puta que los parió. Oh no, nobody can do a public apology as floral as my sister can. And we were raised around women that could do those floral public apologies. And all of those women used to give themselves pats on the chest, and they were Mother Teresa of Calcutta's cousins. But that's all part of the family. That's part of what you grow up with, and that's part of being real. That's part of being real. You don't have to get on a public platform like this one and start saying lies. There is absolutely no need. There's no need to tell anybody a lie. Was I incarcerated in Willacy County for 18 hours and were all my civil rights violated? Yes, I was. Can I find a lawyer out there? If anybody back there is hearing me, I need a lawyer that can represent, because all the ones around here don't want to, because they all cover themselves up with the same colcha. They all cover themselves up with the same colcha. But when you have your own blood that can be worse than those haters out there, then those haters become a second level, like really under your ankle, like almost at the bottom of your foot. Because your own blood took a little bit higher level than them, even though your own blood is under your ankles, it still took a little bit higher level than the haters did, and the haters just went all the way under your foot. When they're being ignored and they're being ignored, and they're getting so mad about being ignored that it's giving them saliva when they do their shows with the saliva anger. You know how the saliva anger goes? And you're back here saying, bitch, if you keep that up, you're going to get a heart attack. And I'm going to laugh. Because there's no need to make yourself that angry and get a heart attack when you know that, nobody's lying. Nobody's lying about somebody calling all her husband's followers pendejos because her husband is a wife beater. It's like that was a reality that was recorded by somebody that wasn't even on social media. It's like that's a reality that was recorded. And then you want to say, well, I hit myself with a cabinet. No, stupid. You didn't hit yourself with a cabinet. You need to learn not to lie. You're living in a country where there's a lot of help for abused women, and you want to continue in that situation, then that's on you, stupid. And your husband wants to be lying because he wants to come back and try to sucker some of those women to give him more money. He must be looking at a bigger, better house, and he's going to be sneaky about it like he was for the first one. Am I lying? No, I'm not. Oh, yeah, that one that cheated all those females out of all that money for bitcoins and stuff. He always salivates over that Detroit issue. And the cochinita, she's still paying somebody in Raymondville's car, I think, and she never got to the cochinita yet, but she's still there defending her, or there to try to defend her. Maria Chongos, yeah, they don't never leave. It's there is a name for it when women fall in love with their abusers. Um, and there's a name for it. It's not just domestic violence. It's this person is constantly abusing you and you fall in love with them. Hi, Cookie Lion. Yeah, Stockholm Syndrome. That's what it's called. Almost all these females out here have it. They don't think that they can stand on their own 2 feet when in reality they're paying more than half of the bills in their house. It's amazes me how females go to work, make more money than the spouse does, and pay most of the bills. And then when he gets his check, he's like, oh, I have to go out with my buddies, and forgets to give out however much money he has to give out for the household bills and spends it all with the buddies every paycheck. Then they wonder why the man's having an affair. Well, stupid, he's out with the buddies, Brokeback Mountaineers around here. You never know. You never know. You don't think in your brain that they're out with females all the time, do you? Maria Chongos, and that's a sad story there because when I got a divorce at 34, and I got divorced at 34. I got married in 19, almost 20, and I got a divorce at 34. Uh, I paid for everything myself. The first thing that came to my mind is nobody's going to talk trash about me, that I can't pull forward with my daughter and give her the best that I can give her without anybody talking smack. Los chingos ingrained, Cookie Lion. Ingríen. Los chingazos ingríen. That's what it's called, Cookie Lion. Los chingazos ingríen. And you're right. Well, and that's the problem here. This show didn't start about that, but it is going in that direction, Maria Chongos. Women need to love themselves. They need to put a stop to whatever's going on around them. And they need to realize that they need to love themselves before they allow any bastard into their life to mistreat them and disrespect them. If they can pay their own bills, then they can be by themselves, wash and wear. If you cannot respect me like the queen that I am, what the hell do you need? I need you here for? What are you bringing into this Kool-Aid? You know, and that's the reality of things. In South Texas, most of the households in South Texas are supported by the females. That's okay. That's okay, Cookie Lion. I understood what you said. And that's what counts. Cuando te puedo entender, that's what counts. Yes. How are you going to love somebody if you can't love yourself enough to say, you know what, I don't deserve to be beat every payday. I have to pay bills and then I still get beat at home. And then I have to go to work with a black eye and tell people that I hit my face with a cabinet. Or my arm, I hit it with a doorknob. You know, and when somebody came and did a public announcement about getting hit over inheritance rights, that sucks. But what sucks more, and this show was made because, in my opinion, haters cannot hate as much as family members can. And sometimes your own family members are worse than those haters. And even if you don't talk to them, you have to teach them a lesson or two. Especially family members that have other family members in their own little roof. People with roof that are made out of glass. You know, they want to be throwing rocks. They want to be going to the top of the buildings and spreading these feather pillows out, the chismes. Why? Wasn't your daddy a human trafficker? Didn't he do time for human trafficking? Wasn't your little brother a grand thief? Not just a petty thief, a grand thief. And paid federal time for it. Isn't your sister doing 17 years of federal time? Didn't your brother-in-law do time for human trafficking? Didn't your own husband do time for baking soda trafficking or other stuff? When you don't have those kind of tails that people can step on, then you can throw rocks and nobody will break your roof because it's actually made solid. But when you have all of those type of things that people can step on and throw in your face like I'm doing right now, and I have the pictures, I just don't have the extra phone right now. But you never know when I'll pull that phone out and start showing pictures, because they are public. You know, it's like I don't have any shame in my game. Anything that I'm saying here, if it resembles anything in anybody else's life other than a family member of mine, it's merely coincidental. But that family member got on a rooftop with a feather pillow on a story that isn't even a proven fact, and started shaking the pillow, shake, when she has a glass rooftop. On worse matters, federal Medicaid fraud, federal, anything over $30,000, theft, years of a husband paying years in jail for trafficking drugs. Her brother-in-law was deported and somehow got back in the country for trafficking drugs. So I don't have to do a whole 1 hour show on anybody when I have family members like that. I can just sit here and talk about my own family. Will that give somebody something to talk about? Yeah. Do I care? No. Because I'm already stepping on them too. They will allow a man to say, I want to sleep with your daughter, and run away with a pew and hide it, and then marry the person so that she won't be used as a testifying witness. Isn't that a convenient selective memory loss? But hey, people that don't discipline their children, husbands that are beating their wives and stealing from old ladies on social media. There's all kinds of people out here just talking trash on a story that's not even from somebody that's on social media or has nothing to do with it. And it has yet to be proven to be true. Because in this one cow town, people will say a lot of smack to get out of paying their rent. In this one cow town, people will sit on paperwork for 2 years to allow their friends to get away with a $600 fine and 6 months probation. In this one cow town, investigators, police officers will be turned into investigators. And what? They're given left and right videos of actual stuff that happened, and they're still trying to pull an investigation because they can kill that time doing that, even though they already have videos about it. It's nice to just scratch your balls and get a paycheck instead of doing their job. But those are the kind of things that happen in one cow towns in South Texas, people. Am I talking to the World Wide Web? Yes, I am. If you're not in South Texas, you don't live through this kind of stuff in your town. It doesn't happen in your town. I'm so happy for you. Because in this one cow town, it does happen. In this one cow town, it does happen. And even if you complain, it doesn't matter. Are y'all going to be doing Cyber Monday? Oh, me and my daughter had so much fun shopping. Yesterday we were at CVS shopping with coupons. And that little girl can use them coupons wisely. But hey, I've taken up 40 minutes of y'all's morning. I want to thank everybody that was here. I want to thank the 17 people that stopped and hit like. But I also want to say that, don't think that those haters are not needed. They're needed, even if they don't have any of their own stuff to say, because they're not going to say anything that they did or their children did or their spouses did. They're going to try to concentrate on other things. And, there's so many stories out there that they could use. Like that little girl that was 18 here in McAllen. What a way to destroy her 18-year-old life. She wanted to go drinking. She was only 18. And she hit somebody. And that other person passed away. There's so many stories. There's so many people that passed away this weekend on unnecessary, like, drinking and driving shit. And they want to be 2 or 3 hours on social media talking about somebody that doesn't even have anything to do about social media and hasn't even been accused of anything. So I want to thank you all for being here. And remember, hagan el bien y no se fijen a quién. Bye, everybody.